You're watching news headlines on mining.com. I'm Devin Murrigan. Gold rose nearly 1% on Monday to set a new all-time high. The price was lifted by political uncertainty and expectations of more U.S. rate cuts. Spot gold prices hit $3,728 before easing. U.S. futures climbed above $3,755. Now, central bank buying, ETF inflows, and safe haven demand have all pushed up gold more than 41% this year. Silver also surged to a 14-year high at $43.81 an ounce, taking its 2025 gains to close to 50%. Analysts say silver could have further to run, with the gold-silver ratio still above its 5-year average. The Democratic Republic of Congo's President Felix Tshisekedi says a U.S. brokered peace deal with Rwanda has failed to stop fighting in the country's east. Felix Tshisekedi thanked U.S. President Donald Trump for mediating, but warned Congo would not auction its mineral wealth. The June deal aimed to end Rwanda's alleged support for the M23 rebels, accused of atrocity by Kinshasa. Congo is pursuing mining and energy ties with both China and the U.S., while also pursuing a prisoner exchange with the rebels. The government insists peace depends on Rwanda halting support for the rebels, a claim Kigali denies. A newly ratified UN treaty to protect life at sea could fuel opposition to deep-sea mining at this week's climate summit in New York. The High Seas Treaty, now signed by 60 countries, comes into force in January. It allows vast conservation zones in international waters. Environmentalists call it a once-in-a-generation chance to protect biodiversity, but the pact does not explicitly ban seabed mining. Hours after the pact was ratified, India signed a 15-year contract to explore polymetallic sulfides in the Indian Ocean. Now, the United States has signed but not ratified the treaty, while France remains the only G7 nation to do so. U.S. President Donald Trump's administration is pressing the World Bank to restart funding for oil and gas projects. This would reverse a 2019 policy that stopped new fossil fuel investments. Officials say the push extends to other development banks shifting away from climate concerns. The White House frames it as energy security with a focus on gas projects in developing countries, but critics warn it risks undermining global emission cuts. China's rare earth exports jumped to nearly 7,400 tons in August. That's the highest since 2012. The surge comes just before a scheduled call between President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Donald Trump on trade and critical minerals. China controls 70% of global mine supply and dominates processing of the 17 minerals vital for electronics, defense, and green technologies. Earlier this year, Beijing restricted some exports during trade tensions, disrupting industries from electric vehicles to wind turbines. August's figures suggest those curbs are easing, calming fears of supply shortages. And that's where we leave your mining headlines for now.